Ah, take a deep breath in. That's right. Hey, I got something to say, people. I really want you to ground yourself. We are ending one season and starting a next. And I'm so grateful to all of you for telling me all about your summer travels. So many of you, even with stay vacations, had a wonderful time. And now the biggest thing, which we're going to get into soon with my next guest, is you want to know how can you keep that pace slowed down even though summer is ending. So I thought, what perfect time but to bring on my next guest. Hong-Mei is in the house. Hello, honey. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Sandy, for inviting me for sharing my experience. Um,
I'm excited. I'm excited. And it's perfect timing because this is coming out right when some people are getting a little anxious that summer's over because they feel like everything is speeding up on them. And a lot of people do slow down over the summer. So they want to be able to take that peace with them, to be able to stay grounded and slow things down. I think you're going to help us with that today.
yeah, I'm happy to share. Yeah, my name is Hong-Mei. I've been facilitating, actually practicing breathwork for over 15 years. Been practicing 15 years, but I've been teaching for 13 plus years. So I'm here to share a little bit more. And Sandy, anything else we can share? Or
Yeah,
shall we
we're going
take
to
it
share a
away?
lot of stuff. Don't you worry. But let me tell a little bit more about you. Is that okay? Here we go.
Yeah, sure.
Hong-Mei Li is certified breathwork, meditation, which is why we're having her on today, and personal development instructor of the Art of Living Foundation and the International Association of Human Values. Now, you know why I brought her on the show. She's the associate director of the Master of Behavioral and Decision. Oh, that's what you're doing now, decision program at the University of Pennsylvania. She graduated from the Nonprofit Leadership Master's degree at the University of Pennsylvania and I didn't know this, and a certificate in entrepreneurship from the Wharton School. Her hobbies are yoga, meditation, cooking, hiking, running, and traveling. Oh my goodness. We got to dive into more what you're doing now. But before we do that, I want to read the little piece that you wanted to say to women around the world and men that support us, which is women are natural leaders and pillars of our society in peace and decision making. Why did you pick that? And why do you believe that, Hong-Mei?
I think for me, it's that I grew up with a lot of women leaders, starting with my great grandmother back in China when I was a child in the village. And hearing her story, she was the central pillar for not only our family, for the village, and for many, many people who went through her life in China. So at that time, there was like a lot of war, World War I, World War II, were all happening in China. So she shared her journey, but how she really informally make decision and influence the rest of family to make decision on our journey to come to America, to go to the Forbidden City, or walk to Hong Kong. All that journey really make a big impact on how I become a natural leader as well. And then even in my study as a in nonprofit leadership at University of Penn, there is always there's different form of leadership. There's dynamic leadership, which is more like be adaptive. And then from my journey on breathwork starting in 2010, at that time in 2010, I was going through a really stressful moment. I was managing a nanotechnology research center, have a grant over almost $12 million from the National Foundation. So I was managing academic master program as well as a research center. So something had to give. It's my own personal health. So I came across this Art of Living breathwork in a church, actually. And that time my roommate just finished medical school. He's like, oh, let's go check out this breathwork in this church on Labor Day weekend. I stumbled into it and I just there's something really different about it. The facilitator for that 1 hour session was a MD PhD student at University of Penn. I'm just curious, how does he have time doing MD PhD and yet be able to volunteer and facilitate the workshop? So I was just intrigued to be more productive, but because I also go into a really stressful moment at work, I just like, why not? Let's just try it. I done mindfulness, breath work, I done yoga, I got hiking. This is just another thing that might be even go deeper. So I knew there was something different. So immediately I took the Art of Living Part 1 class after that. And I noticed that the 3 day, that back then was 4 days, now it's only 3 days. This 3 day, 3 hour workshop completely changed my physiology, my mindset on how to make decisions. Because often when we're stressed, we often have this like flight or flight response and often just kind of react to it. So
Yeah.
when I did the breath work, it kind of like slowed down the like parasympathetic system, sympathetic system. So we don't keep reacting all the time. As my doctor is like you always like on a go and always like checklist the thing. But when will you going to relax and be able to take control of your emotions? So I took the course, it completely changed. I no longer have all those illnesses. I used to have asthma medicine, I used to have sleep medicine, have a kidney infection in the hospital. So I was taking that as well. So literally I would go and do about 10 different medication every day. And the breath work of 1 weekend, I start doing it immediately I see a shift. I sleep better that night. And then I start practicing every day. I noticed my productivity at work was go through the roof. I was at that time I was also going to grad school. I was getting my Wharton degree in certificate. And later on I got my master's degree in nonprofit leadership. So it was just something how to balance. And I thought that was like a secret key that everyone should just tap into. And later I learned that the foundation has a lot of work with woman empowerment and being the pillar of society. So it's just I feel like the stars align. I learned the breath work and now I empower other people. I teach other people how to do it. Every weekend, besides my day job working at University of Penn, which I love, I advise the students, I do marketing, I like the administration, but my night passion is really just helping and empowering other people to make better decisions practically as well.
All right, so let's hold it there because that is so much of the questions that came in. What you just said, there were so many questions about they're working so many hours. How can they finally, bring in the breath work? Like you said, you were so impressed by how the heck is he doing all that and, staying calm and being balanced and feeling wonderful because most people, they don't feel like they have time to do the breath work. And what you're saying is by doing the breath work, you had time to do more things and have more clarity and sleep well and not have as much anxiety. So hold on, let's break it back. First question, and I want to make sure we get this in there. What is the difference? Because some people got a little confused and I understand, and I think it's totally two different things. The difference between breath work and meditation.
Totally. So I would say breath work is kind of like a mechanism to get your mind and emotions under control. So an example is our emotion is connecting to the breath. Have you noticed how you breathe when you're stressed out? Very tense, right? Unable to breathe, hold the breath, very like rapid, right? And how do you breathe when you're much more calmer? Relax. So there is a correlation between the emotion and the breath. So emotion is like the kite flying in the sky, and the breath is like a strain, like that you're moving the kite. So when we able to focus on different rhythm of breath work, that specifically the one that we teach in Art of Living Part 1 is Sudarshan Kriya, the sky breathing technique. It's a specific rhythm protocol you go through it resets your system and kind of like brushing your teeth every morning. So then when you're able to manage emotion to a calm state, then you're able to meditate. I have personally, I love breathing, I love meditation. I try many different modality out there. But the first time when I tried to do other programs, my mind just like a monkey mind jumping up and down. I cannot get a hold of my monkey. So what happened is like you put a ping pong ball in the wall, it bounced right back. So it doesn't really, that's not the best way to manage the ping pong ball, right? The best way is kind of like using the breath work to be able to manage the monkey mind. So we can be able to meditate. And doing the Sudarshan Kriya is a specific rhythm protocol. It's just like most people just sit and meditate. Like, what do you do? Meditate. What do you mean? Like, mind starts going everywhere. But when we go through the breath work, it specifically calms it down so you can be able to meditate. So the second question is, what is meditation? Meditation is the art of doing nothing. So in Art of Living, we have another program called Effortless Meditation, Sahasamadhi, Sanskrit name for effortless meditation. And you just relax. You don't need to so worry about what I need to do, what I do. They all get a personal sound, vibration, mantra, and be able to relax and meditate. So they both complementary. They're more like dovetail each other.
Gotcha.
So when we do the breath work, we're able to simply meditate. We can do one or the other or both program complement each other.
Okay. So I just want to make sure I got it right. If somebody says, listen, I only have 5 or 10 minutes in the morning. I got so many questions about this, Hong-Mei. I'm only even feasibly, if somebody's out there and they're not doing anything right now, so they only have a few minutes, could they, in just a few minutes, 5 or 10 minutes in the morning, practice breath work? And would it work?
Yes, yes. I would say doing something better than nothing. The sky practice, once you learn it, it's only 20 minutes. I know like sometimes 20 minutes still a struggle. It's the more you put in and more you put out. It's like investment, fundraising, all that, right? You put money in, you come right out. And a lot of people did not know that 20 minutes of meditation or breath work equivalent to 4 hours sleep in terms of energy exchange. So it doesn't mean you should skip sleeping, but it gives you that extra energy that you would get if you spend 4 hours sleep. So do you think it's better to sleep 4 hours or you take your extra 4 hours, or should you go do the 20-minute meditation? Yeah, the 20-minute meditation is probably more productive, right? So yes, 5 minutes you can do. There's some various small breathing techniques that you can use to calm yourself down throughout the day. In the program, there's certain breath work that you can do. But the best one out there, just for resetting your system, is the sky breath meditation.
Okay. So again, the ideal is 20 minutes per day. And as much as you don't think you have 20 minutes a day, it actually gives you more time because you're more well rested and you have tons more energy.
Yes.
Okay.
And more productive.
I really get that. So is it, I just want to make sure I'm clear on this, that once you learn the breath work, then you're using that breath work while you meditate? They're not two separate things.
They actually, so good question. So sky breathing technique is one module. Sahasamadhi is another module. So a lot of people learn the breath work. They bring their mindset to a meditated state of mind. They feel very good. However, they may stay there for 5-10 minutes, but to go even deeper and even go next level is adding the meditation practice.
I got you. Because I remember listening, I forget to what podcast, and there was a really well-known monk on, and he was breaking down breath work and meditation. And I thought he said the same thing. I just wanted to be clear that they are separate things. They can be together, but they're separate things. So again, for the listeners out there, if you were going to say, Hong-Mei, the most important thing, they're right now, life is crazy. The kids are running around. They're going back to school. They feel overworked. Yes, ideally, we want to get them to do the full program. But if they were going to pick one thing, just even taking a few minutes in the morning to do breath work could make a huge impact on them.
Yes, they can start. I would say that's a temporary band-aid. You can have something to, bound the wound. But for healing the wound, it's going through the daily cleansing 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when you do your practice, when do you do it? Do you do it in the morning, and for how long?
My practice has been expanded over the years. So when I first started, I get it. I didn't have time. I was in grad school. I was renovating a house that was 3 year long, had a full-time job, had two parents who were like my babies, my disabled parents I had to take care of, and in their house and property. There was a lot of going on. So I actually get up at 3:30, and I was running a marathon also. So I'll get up at 3:30 to do my breath work, 30 minutes, whatever that is, right? Later on, I add the meditation, so maybe 40. So because there's a 10-minute rest. After you do 20-minute yoga, you rest for 10 minutes. It's ideally to do that. You don't want to do your yoga and run.
Just say that again. You do 30 minutes of breath work. You rest for
30-minute breath work and relaxation included. So
okay.
Yeah.
And then 40 minutes of meditation?
No. Nowadays I do 40 minutes. So 20-minute breathing, 20-minute meditation combined is 40. Yep.
Gotcha.
So I get up this is how my schedule used to be, but now I still get up pretty decent early. At 3:30, I would get up to do my practice. Then I go for a run. I do training for marathon, run for an hour, shower, and so on. Then I study for grad school. Then I go to work. Then I come back. Night have night class. Then go back to sleep. And even though now I sleep only 6-7 hours, but my energy is off the peak. I also much more aware of what I eat. I used to be overweight by 20 pounds. So I also lose weight naturally, when we're much more aware of what we eat. Nowadays, my schedule is still really intense. I work about 8 to 10, 10 hour-ish a day. So I get up at 5:30, sometimes 4:30, depends. I add some yoga there when I get a chance. I do my practices. I go for a run, go to the gym, whatever that is. Prepare my meals. I don't eat any processed meal. So I prepare my breakfast, lunch, dinner, where you go. So freshly prepare for the day. And then I get to work by 9 o'clock-ish, right? And I work sometime until 8, 9, even 10 sometimes. But in between, I would do an evening meditation. That's about 20 minutes also. So, and even lunch hour, I spend maybe another 10 minutes or 5 minutes, just do a few breathing. That's sometimes I doesn't get to do it, but minimally in evening before I have dinner or afternoon, sometimes I squeeze in a 20-minute meditation. So that's my schedule, but it doesn't have to be your schedule.
I'm like, okay. And for us mere mortals on the earth, oh my goodness. And I get it. And I get why you're able to do all you do. I mean, it's crazy and it's incredible. And that's unbelievable. And I'm a firm believer that the reason you can do all that is because you do your breath work and your meditation and you work out and you eat healthy. But I want to back it out a little bit again and make sure that I'm clear, because for the people out there that are just scratching the surface, and sometimes they meditate, sometimes they don't, you know what I mean? They're not consistent. Even the consistency of 5 minutes in the morning, like having a routine, seems overwhelming to them. Right now, what you're suggesting is a minimum of 20 minutes a day for the breath work, but anything is better than nothing. Correct?
Yeah, if they do the workshop, but if they just want to start with something, I have these free 1 hour session. You're more than welcome to pop in. Happy to share as a complimentary for, Sandy's show. We'll share the link. Either some of my volunteer team member or myself might sometime even pop in if you guys coming. You can come learn some breathing technique, and I also can share a simple one today that you can implement in 3 minutes. And just notice, how is it make a difference? Just 3 minutes of this breathing, or 5 minutes, whatever that you can put in.
That would be awesome, because I could just see the people writing in, Hong-Mei is amazing, and maybe in this lifetime
Yes.
I'll get there, and maybe not. But what could they apply right now? And you're right, it's an and. Once they see that how much better, like you're saying, even a few minutes can do, then by going the next mile, even taking a course with you would make a huge, massive difference. That would be awesome. So let's start, if you could, right now with showing us, or maybe we'll go through with you just a few minutes of practice. And for those of you who are driving, please pull over and wait to do this. Or if you're watching, great. But if you're not, make sure you're somewhere safe. And that also, it's not like at work with craziness going on around you, right? You can pause it and come back to it. Does it sound good, Hong-Mei?
Sounds good. Yeah, so this one is very simple breathing. If you wear glasses, you can take it off. So just relax. It's very simple. So you breathe in through the nose and you breathe out through the mouth. It's called straw breath. Just imagine you have a tiny, tiny straw in the tip of your mouth and you slowly breathe out through the mouth. So it looks like this. You breathe in through the nose. And then you pucker your lips like a tiny straw and slowly breathe out. And continue. You can close your eye if you feel comfortable. Breathe in through the nose. And pucker your lips and breathe out slowly. Continue in and out. Inhalation, energize the body. Exhalation, relax the body. Continue deep breath in and slowly breathe out. And relax. Relax, keeping your eyes closed. Notice your surrounding. Become aware of any noise around you. Whatever noise you hear, just accept it. Become aware of your body. Your body is a precious gift from nature with love. Love your body dearly. Become aware of your feet, knees, thighs, stomach, chest, arms, throat, and face, and head, your whole body. Become aware of your thoughts, whether it's positive thoughts or negative thoughts. Let it be. You are in harmony with your thoughts. Deep breath in and let go. Notice your feelings. Whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, just be. You are joy, you are peace, you are love. Breathe in and breathe out. Become aware of your feelings. Become aware of your thoughts. Become aware of your body. And notice your surroundings. Breathe in and breathe out. Another breath in with a big smile. And breathe out slowly and gently. You may open your eyes.
I was like, it's going to be a different podcast because now I'm like floating on clouds. Okay, thank you so, so much. And for everyone out there, if you weren't able to do it because you were driving or somewhere else with tons of people, just know you can always push pause and rewind it and go back to this spot and go through it. And make sure you share it with others, because even in those few minutes, I'm sure you felt like I felt. It was a powerful difference. All of a sudden, your whole body just seems to feel ease and flow and calm. Thank you. That was awesome. I really appreciate it. I really do.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I want to make sure, because we're almost out of time, and I really love that you were able to even show us in that few minutes how quickly we can change even how we view the world with all the other stuff going on. Nothing has changed out there, but how I see the world has changed. And that's amazing. And I love that, because the same stuff is there. It's just how I'm looking at it. But I want to get off gears just 1 minute, and then we'll come back so we can end the show, because I did get a lot of questions when I sent your information out. They want to know what a Master's of Behavioral and Decision program is about, because they were very enticed about, like, what does it mean, a decision program?
Yeah. It's a decision. It's, you know, how we have the Nobel Prize on Daniel. Like, it's really how people make decisions on every day. Even right now, that you make a decision to listen to the podcast, right? How does that decision arise? So our program is a very specifically focused on behavior and decision science, a combination of data, analytic, as well as the social sciences, psychology, economics, game theory, all the different variation. And we have a very diverse cohort of students from around the world. We have currently I'm managing about 230 advisees, 230 students, and they're from everywhere. Someone who's a CEO managing $1 billion investment, wondering how people make decisions on financial decision. There's also people who want to do arts. How does people make decision on arts and which program
Oh,
would be
I
eligible?
understand now. I get it now. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a different way we can apply it, and we have about 30 industry partners are working with us, and they apply what they learn from the program into their design challenge throughout the year.
I get
So
it. Okay.
it's one of the two, I would say one of the top program in the world. There's two really competitive. One is in London School of Economics, but in US it's our program. It's one of its kind. Since 2017 we have it. Our founding director, Christina Bristelli, she is also really focused on women and gender equity known in the world. She has over 1 million people in Coursera. So it's a privilege to be working here and also working with our
Absolutely.
students. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, because I got a lot of questions about that, and I didn't quite understand either. All right. So there's so many questions that we didn't get in, and I'm sure they can reach out to you, because I'm so sorry, my peeps, we can't get it all in. And I know Hong-Mei will be happy to hear from you. But the one thing that I got that I better get in, and I'll kick my butt, is you mentioned evidence-based breath work. And there's so much out there now that we're hearing about, and I've had people on that tell us what we knew was possible. There is now scientific proof, because they're hooking people up to electrodes, and they can see how within a little bit of time of breath work and meditation, the brain changes, even in just 4 days, with 10 minutes of work. So with all the breath work out there, what do you mean by evidence-based breath work?
So the Sudarshan Kriya has been around in over, 45 years in 180 countries.
Okay.
Specifically, we had a recent study over pandemic at Yale University, focusing on different modules. There's like emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and the placebo and the Sudarshan Kriya practice with Skype Campus. That's the program for universities called Skype Campus Happiness Program. And it has shown there's a 6 indicator of wellness, managing productivity. And personally, I trust it because I've been practicing for 15 years. So
Absolutely.
that's what I mean by that. And there is over 100 studies publicized in our website for the breath work, as well as the effortless meditation program. And the effortless meditation is so simple. You just get a sound and you just sit for 20 minutes. You can do it in a plane, you can do it anywhere, a train. If it's so good, I literally you can just on transit, you can do a 20-minute meditation there. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So back up a set. You said it really doesn't matter. They can do it as long as weren't driving, because I didn't want you to close your eyes, but they can do it on the train, on a bus, as long as
the meditation, yes, the meditation. And the breathing, my people would think what are you doing? Blowing air. But yeah, the straw breath you can do on a train for
yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You can fit it in. You have to be creative. It's always, as negotiators say, it's expanding the pie. You add it in, you fit it in your schedule.
And years and years and years ago, that sounds like a world beyond. No, I remember that I was very interested in taking yoga, but my body wasn't built for yoga. I have hip dysplasia, Hong-Mei, so my hips are tilted way forward. So 95% I had to modify. But what I really wanted was the meditation and the breath work. And I realized, wait a minute, I don't have to do, I know it sounds crazy, but wait a minute. What I really want is the mind work. I don't have to do those exact poses to do the breath work and the meditation. I can separate it out. And so I got very fascinated about that. And I started doing it for me when I was on my hikes in the forest with my dog. And it became like a whole nother world. And once I saw what I was able to do, even walking in the forest, then I would find a tree and I would sit and meditate under a tree because then I could close my eyes. And it just opened up a whole new world for me that it didn't have to be specifically, I could do it during those yoga poses, which I didn't know back then. You know, I thought I had to be able to do that. And it changed my life. It really did, to be able to do it in a way that worked for me. So I can tell you firsthand, as much as somebody says you're always on the go, you're so busy, you never sit down. I do. I do. And I can sit and I do mine in the morning because I know when I take that time, I have so much more energy and I am way more creative and I can handle a lot more difficult situations because I started it with my meditation and breath work. So thank you so much for coming on and even bringing more clarity to how important this is, and that even though you think you may not have 20 minutes, you'll end up having more time and feeling more well rested. So I really, really appreciate that. But before we go, is there anything besides telling them how they can find you in the program that we didn't get in, Hong-Mei, that you want to make sure you get in and tell women around the world and men that support us?
I think the most important thing is really reflecting how much we value ourselves. You put everything ahead of us. Where are you in your list of priority of yourself? If you think you don't worth the 20 minutes, when will you find the time for that? We always put time for kids, parents, work. When will you put a me time into your 24 hours? You don't think you can fit a 24-hour or 20 minute in a 24 hours? Rethink about that. Just reflect on yourself. Where are you in your list of priority?
I like that. I like that. Where am I? Do I value myself and I'm worth the 20 minutes? Love that. Okay. Tell us everything. Where can they find you? Where can they work with you? How can they get involved in the program?
I teach for the Art of Living Foundation as well as the International Association for Human Values. So if you're a university affiliates, you can take the program with me in Sky Campus. I'm happy to put my email on the chat and you guys can share it, as well as the link to come to the 1 hour free session. So if currently have it, we schedule on Sunday and Thursday, I believe, or Wednesday, one of those days at 6:30. But if those time doesn't work, feel free to send me an email, see if we can adjust and post other session that works for the public. This is my service for everyone. I love my service and I also love my job. So I say do as much as you can, but you want to serve as much as you can as well. Yeah, so I do have Art of Living Part 1 class that I facilitate. Sleep anxiety is a lot of people having sleep anxiety protocols, series of breathing. There we also have Sky Campus, it's the same program, but just for university affiliate students and all that. I also teach a program for kids. And then one more program that a lot of people don't know about, it's very hidden out there, it's intuition process for kids. So kids can blindfold and make decision and say, like literally they can write in a different language. It's one of those amazing programs out there. And so kids do the breath work, but they also have this intuition process. So forget about taking the SAT course. You can just take the intuition process and practice it for kids. So there's a lot of amazing.
There's a lot of stuff out there. Okay.
Yes.
We'll definitely put your email in the show notes, but why don't you say it to them too, in case they want to jot it down? What is the way to reach you? Your email?
You can send an email to, I know my email is a little complicated, HONG-MEI.LI at artofliving.org. And also the link that it will be always the same for the free community session is tiny.cc/bpsky. Tiny.cc/bpsky. That's the
And we'll
free
make sure we
community
include
session.
it. We'll make sure we include it.
Yeah.
All right, hey, I got something to say, people. You know you're going to want to share this. You know it. I can't think of anyone out there that wouldn't benefit from this episode. And don't forget, if you weren't able to do the guided meditation with Hong-Mei during the episode, just go back, rewind, and make sure you get it in. Because if you already have your practice, great. But if you don't, I want you to feel, even in that short period of time, how much better you feel. Cool beans? And we so appreciate you sharing, liking, rating it, and subscribing it. Hong-Mei, thank you so much. Until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Toodles.
Thank you, Sandy.